What? Chinese YouTube. It's me, Mr. mrluisalonzo. On our last episode, we don't really know much of the last episode. Because, for some weird reason, Virtual Dub is acting up on me again.
Sorry about that, guys. It's me, Mr. mrluisalonzo. On our last episode, we should have gotten the flying rooster and proceeded on our way to the Eagle Tower. However, Virtual Dub is acting up on me. That's my, the system that I use to compress my videos. So, Virtual Dub is acting up on me, and now I just can't seem to actually compress part 16, 17 actually. So confusing. If you have the boomerang at this point, getting the mirror shield is so much easier, and your time spent in this dungeon is cut by half. Literally. I can't imagine like not beating this dungeon without the boomerang. Other than that, you just have to go around, attack that thing, the crystal orb, and get the boomerang the hard way. But because of this, it's made so much easier. I think I've saved like at least 13 to 14 to maybe even 16 minutes. The beauty of getting boomerangs. The boomerang is gonna prove so useful later in the game. Considering that this is later in the game, but with the mirror shield, that completes all my level 2 weapons. I have the level 2 power bracelet, the level 2 sword, and the level 2 shield. That makes me Ultra God. Or Ultra Lord, like Shane would say. Or Shane from Jimmy Neutron. James Isaac Neutron. I guess for this episode, the topic is going to be about Mario. Mario and his impact in Nintendo, the course of Nintendo. As many of you would have already known, the concept design of Mario comes from this crazy but brilliant Japanese person by the name of Shigeru Miyamoto. And Shigeru Miyamoto is also the person who masterminded The Legend of Zelda, the original, and just created a legacy. I mean, his legacy is known far and wide. If you went back to that room, you can actually hookshot the pot and go across the gap that's over there. I'll be going back to that room soon, so don't worry. I'll let you know. I'll show it to you. And Shigeru Miyamoto is basically, if you're a person, a fan of video games, then it's impossible not to know that name, because Shigeru Miyamoto probably single-handedly ended the video game crash of the mid-80s. And in case any of you don't know what the video game crash was, from like 83 to 85, the crappiest games were being produced, and nobody really wanted to play those games because they were so horribly crappy and stuff. And and that was like for 2 straight years, and there were no single good game, and then Nintendo came out with their Nintendo Entertainment System in the middle of the video game crash, or near the end of the video game crash. Very risky gamble, very risky gamble, and bundled with all Nintendo Entertainment Systems, which is called the Famicom in Japan. Bundled with all Nintendo Entertainment Systems was this game called Super Mario Brothers. So weird. But before Super Mario Brothers came about, there was also a game, a platformer called Donkey Kong. That was actually Mario's first adventure to save a girl from a giant thing monster creature. But originally his name was Jumpman, so you may want to take a risk for this. You don't have to, but I'm taking a risk. So you jump, grab that while it's in a spike, and there, you took your risk. I believe at this point I could have saved like a couple of, maybe 1 or 2 minutes if I would have just thrown that across over there. But I wasn't thinking straight, you know. Not too much vodka. Just kidding. I don't drink alcohol. There's our next thing. Now, of course, very risky gamble for Nintendo. You wouldn't have known if the Famicom was gonna hit. If it was gonna hit, and they just took the gamble, like Nintendo's pretty much known for, and it paid off. Super Mario Brothers came out to be now the second best-selling video game of all time, selling, I believe, well over 46 million copies. The Nintendo Entertainment System is probably the single most pivotal system in the history of video games because it ended the video game crash and led to the prosperity of video games and its subsequent growth as time went on. Now, that's very huge. Clearly, Mario's legacy was astounding from his very beginning. Like, I believe Mario could be considered the Alexander the Great of video games. He had an extraordinary legacy going for him, but he was very young at the time. I think I may be onto something. People all around the world will now be comparing Mario to Alexander the Great. Oh yes, rubbing my beard with excitement. Now here, that's when I realized I can hook shot. So I'm gonna be hook shotting as soon as I get the hook shot up. And hook shot, damn, hook shot, yay! And the Gibdos. These guys are so much easier in like 2D games than they are in 3D games, because in 3D games they would scream and be like and halt Link in his path, and then they'll jump Link, or some of them will jump on Link and do the rape like Red-Deads. But you get used to it after a while. I think they're called Gibdos, I'm not sure. And here's our mini boss. But he's not the mini boss that will leave the floating transportation thing. Pretty simple. If you have a level 2 sword, he's gonna drop a key. And you grab the key. And over there is direction for fourth and final pillar. Oh gosh. Carrying on. So Mario had an astounding legacy. How do you beat Super Mario Bros. 1? Simple. You make a third one. Yeah, well, Super Mario Bros. 2 wasn't exactly what we thought it would be. It was still a great game and all, but they just basically took a game that already existed, replaced it with Mario characters, and then labeled it Super Mario Bros. 2, and then sold it to America. The reason why we'd get such a crappy game, like, not crappy, but a game that doesn't even live up to the expectations of Mario? Why? Oh, it's quite simple, guys. The Japanese thought that the real Super Mario Bros. 2 was too difficult for Americans. Too difficult. And, I wouldn't know how to say they have a point, but it's extremely difficult if you've played Super Mario Bros. 2. I've played it as a youngster. I haven't played it now, but if I played it now, I probably would be able to beat it. Because, you know, with age comes wisdom. Unless you've chosen to neglect all the life lessons that life threw at you from your childhood to now. And the beauty? Well, in this case, the beauty of the B and the A button is that if you tap both of them together, then you're actually, like, for instance, if you held the B button while it's a shield and the A button while it's a sword, you get the ultimate defense and offense. And that's awesome. But if you were to have the boomerang in B and the sword in A, and you just spammed both buttons, then you get the boomer sword. Coming up with names is so stupid. It's kind of fun though. Don't mind me. I just woke up an hour ago. Oh man, damn. I think I made like a huge mistake here. I think I fell down one of these holes. Now for the ultimate defense offense. Yeah, I did fall into these holes. Like an idiot. Now observe. Grab. Ah! Luckily that came out before I fell. So, nothing much has to be done. Now, the real Super Mario Bros. 2 was re-released in America in the form of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. But I'm not going to get to that at this point. I'll get to it later in the video. But right now, I want to talk about Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 was the ideal sequel to Super Mario Bros. 2. I mean, it didn't have the weird like gameplay gimmick where you had to pick up plants in order to kill enemies. But it just went back to the roots, and it vastly improved on the roots. It provided a lot more power-ups, like the Tanuki suit, and the raccoon suit, and the frog suit. Yes, the frog suit. And of course, it kept like traditional power-ups like the mushroom and the fire flower, and it's that game set a basis for what Super Mario Bros. Or Super Mario games would be like from here on in. It would have a plethora of power-ups that are wide-ranging and various in like effects and stuff, and it would deal with an expansive world filled with levels and enemies to take a part of, which is really cool. Of course, it would have multiple bosses instead of a single boss like Super Mario Bros. Was. It introduced Koopa siblings, which would be like a recurring factor in Mario games. By the way, that treasure chest was supposed to hold a secret seashell, in case you didn't get the level 2 sword by now. But if you've been following this walkthrough, then you should have gotten the level 2 sword by the time you came to the 5th dungeon. 5th dungeon had the hook shot, right? Yeah, no. You would have gotten the level 2 sword by the time you went to the 6th dungeon. Alright, now. Moving on. Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land was basically the lesson learned from Super Mario Bros. 3. Featured an extremely expansive. Well, before I get there, the puzzle in this room, the puzzle for this to get the last one, you need to kill all 3 of those guys to open the treasure chest. That's over there in that room. The 3 poker face guys. Then you need to throw that iron ball across that room to the other side. Then you need to walk all the way around and hookshot the treasure chest so you can get the treasure chest. And then you just walk around, pick up the ball, and get the next item. You'll see how I do it soon. Let's see. So Super Mario Land was a lesson learned from Super Mario Bros. 3. Let's see. So it had an expansive overworld. Yoshi's Island was extremely large with tons of levels. Very different in terms of levels. So like I said before, I made a really stupid mistake, and I could have saved lots of time. I could have just simply grabbed the ball, like just go down, continue going down, throw the ball across that area, hit that, and then just walk back and get the ball. But you know what happens when you make mistakes like these. I'm doing a rerun of the game right now, so I'll definitely learn from my mistakes, but right now I'm making it. It's great to make mistakes. Remember, as long as you learn from them. And carrying on. Super Mario Land. Great game. Tons of levels. Very diverse. So many enemies. The bosses were cool. The power-ups were awesome. Like the Cape Mario. Pretty badass, if you ask me. Now you gotta kill these enemies, all of them, so you can get the treasure chest that's gonna appear over there. Then you gotta walk around, enter that broken wall, hookshot the treasure chest, and that's it. Simple as pie. And carrying on. It had a decent plot. I mean, Mario at that time wasn't known for plot, but rather level design and power-ups and so on and so forth. But it had a pretty decent plot. The Boomer Sword. And of course it dealt with, the princess getting kidnapped again. Yeah. But it was great. It was one of the best games in the Super Nintendo. One of the best. Not probably not the best, but it was way up there. Carrying on. There was also lots of side things that you could do. I mean, so many new entrances that you've never been to before. Pretty cool. I liked it. I mean, we all liked it. Now, carrying on, the next big console title for Mario was Mario 64. And that game blew everyone away. That game just showed that Mario can only get better, not worse. Because it stuck with the original concepts and stuff, but it expanded on them so much it's not even funny. Plus, it was the first time Mario was entering the 3D world, and this first time was epic, amazing. So he's the Grim Creeper. He wears a skull mask on his face, and he's gonna use his flute to call his friends. That's what he calls them. And you just gotta kill all of his friends, like a sadistical mass murderer. If you don't kill all of his friends, then he's gonna use his flute to recall them back, and they're gonna be in a different formation. And I think I didn't kill his friends twice or 3 times. I probably did it this time. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did it this time. So basically, you kill all his friends, and that's how you beat the mini boss in this place. And over here, you just push the blocks, and so you push the blocks together and you get the boss key. Simple as that. Stupid anti-fairy. Simple as that. No problems. And if you've been following this walkthrough, then you shouldn't need that other key. Go straight to the boss door, and that's it. Because of the mirror shield. Well, not because of the mirror shield. The mirror shield was completely useless in this level. Completely. I mean, sure, it's gonna prove important in the boss battle. Yeah, but not now. Anyways. God. So, Mario 64 blew people away with the concept of getting stars and multiple missions, and all those missions were awesome. And it was every fan's goal not to beat the game, but to get all stars. And I mean, when it becomes your goal to get all the stars in the game and beat it 100%, then that's when the game is extremely good. Then Super Mario Sunshine came in, and it was good. I mean, it could have used some more work, but it had the basic concepts of Super Mario 64, and it expanded on them a little bit. That's how the mirror shield is useful. Prevents him from being completely blown away by the bird. So SMS Super Mario Sunshine had the basic concepts. I made and it introduced like another concept, a flood. Flood was awesome, and I think I made 2 mistakes fighting this boss, but I get him the 3rd time. We got Super Mario Sunshine. Not the best, but it's not the worst. And then Super Mario Galaxy came out, and while it didn't beat Super Mario 64, it definitely had some amazing concepts in terms of galaxies, and it was extremely expansive. And here's my second mistake. I lost half a heart, so I don't have my blowy sword. And basically, that was Super Mario Galaxy. Then Super Mario Galaxy 2 came out, and people thought it was amazing. Like, the scope of levels far exceeds Super Mario Galaxy. So many levels, so many things to do. The soundtrack was superb, excellent, fully orchestrated. It was like everything that all Mario fans wanted. And Super Mario recently came out with a new game, Super Mario 3D Land, and I pre-ordered it for my brother because I'm buying him a 3DS for Christmas. But I'm sure that based on our experiences with Mario, he's gonna love it. I'm sure that that's gonna be the case. And with that said, I finished talking about Mario. Just in time to beat the boss. Get your heart container, go down, and get your 7th instrument. Now, a little heads up. I made a mistake recording part 20. I lost one part, similar to how I lost Southern Shrine. So I'm gonna be re-recording that, and you're gonna be seeing straight from part 19 to part 21. So I'll see you guys later. Peace.